So New York is under lockdown for another 2 weeks plus, basically till the middle of May, as it stands now. Could probably be longer. They've said until they're able to ensure safety, which basically ensures that whenever they feel like it, whenever they can score the right number of political points, Coronavirus Commissar Cuomo will finally release us from our bondage. Well, here's what things look like in New York right now. I'll show you. It's not pretty, but you know, this channel is all about reporting the truth. So,
but this is like some serious invasion of the body snatchers shit right here. Look at all these people. It's Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. Do you know where your dignity is? Because it sure as shit ain't here.
This is New Yorkers waiting to get grocery handouts because we're all out of work. We need to get our groceries handed to us from the powers that be. That's the city health commissioner, Osiris Barbeau. There she goes, talking about how we need to register all deaths as coronavirus on the death certificate, even if they were never tested positive. Things are starting to go south. For the people involved's privacy, I'll hit pause on that. Now, obviously, that's invasion of body snatchers, but considering that we're dealing with total pod people here, I mean, I don't know, I've harped on this a little bit before, but just the sheer idiocy of people who previously spent their time, excoriating U.S. imperialism for all of the violence and the harm that it has caused around the world, now is demanding that we be locked down. And I'm sorry, the two don't really jibe. So I can only conclude that they've been taken over by a hostile invading force, and whether that force comes in the form of a pod or a brainworm or I don't even know. It doesn't really matter. The point is that they're going against everything they once stood for, and it's really disappointing because these were people, at least some of them, that I respected quite a bit, and whoops, can't do that anymore. At any rate, so the point is that this is what we're dealing with right now. The statistics have been proven to be hugely inflated. Well, maybe there's a grain of truth to them, but beneath that, we've just completely shut down the economy. 22 plus million people filing for unemployment, and that doesn't include the many people who are A, independent contractors, B, freelancers, C, part-time workers who otherwise didn't qualify for unemployment. Most of my generation, and I'm sure the younger generations even more so, at least I've never worked in a job that has ever been qualified me for unemployment should I have been laid off or lost that job. So I know I'm not the only one. And so this 22 million number that you're seeing floated around, well, I mean, Goldman Sachs is saying now that it could be 37 million by the end of May. It's going to be more than that, and especially if they drag this thing on past May. I hear that some states are starting to consider opening up. I don't know how much truth there is to that. I'm sure they'll find a reason to keep things going because they're making a lot of money off of this. And if you do not believe me, well, one might just look at who they've got in charge of reopening. I mean, this here is that's Trump's economic reopening team. That's Cuomo's economic reopening team. This is McKinsey, this is Deloitte, and this is the CEOs of Goldman Sachs, Lockheed Martin, and Home Depot, I guess. Yeah, this is a joke, yes, but it's also not a joke. I mean, the fact that Cuomo has put McKinsey and Deloitte, McKinsey, of course, being the same firm that crafted the original bogus prediction that we were going to have a need for 40,000 ICU beds by early April in New York. Now, yes, New York is the epicenter right now where people are supposedly dropping dead in the streets and being cleared up in bulldozers. Now, of course, any New Yorker who goes outside can see that that's not the case, but we're not supposed to go outside because we'd be killing grandma. So sitting indoors like a good little person, you could easily fall into this propaganda. And this is where the pod people thing comes from, because I mean, the people that I talk to outside are as equally exasperated and irritated with having to stand in these preposterous lines that it doesn't make any sense that the people are bunched up in these lines, and then, oh yeah, we have to, we can't be inside bunched up on one another, but being bunched up outside is totally fine. We just don't want to get fined, you know? And it's not like they have enough cops to possibly endorse all of this. It's just that people, I guess they feel lucky that they have jobs at all, which is understandable. I mean, that this is a really pathetic joke. And these people are cashing in at huge, enormous rates. All of the, I go outside and every other block is moving down. And these are not all residential blocks either. Businesses are being forced to close their doors that will never again open their doors. And the fact that we've got a Blackstone Group guy, we've got again McKinsey and Deloitte circling. These are the people that are in charge of reopening New York. These people are going to make money hand over fist reopening New York because, you know, restructuring, turnaround, these nice euphemisms that we use to basically describe eviscerating bankrupt firms and taking their employees, pushing them out to pasture, and reconstituting the bare bones of the business in such a way that it maximizes profit for the new owner. This is the new business model. These people are going to be making a shit ton of money, and they're going to be collateralizing. I mean, they're going to be structuring these. They're going to create new financial instruments out of these bankrupted businesses in a way that, I mean, the Fed has just spun off a ton of new special purpose vehicles, which will all be operated by BlackRock, which is, again, a child of Blackstone Group. I don't pretend to know the nitty-gritty of these financial constructs, and I would imagine that most Americans don't either, and that's kind of the point. They want to put it in this rarefied realm where only these people who are trained to deal in these complicated financial instruments actually have any idea what's going on, and thus nobody else can peek under the hood and see exactly how they're being fucked up the ass. I mean, I think that most people would like to know. It's a very intimate process, and rather unpleasant, especially if it's being done in the dark by an entity that you don't really know what it is. I mean, it could be an ogre or it could be a kitten, but chances are it probably feels like an ogre. I mean, just saying. But we're being told to expect greater hurt. So 37 million people out of work isn't bad enough. No, we're being told to expect food shortages. Okay, well that's just great. This story was all over the place when it first came out, and now this week again there's more. I didn't pull it up because it's the same thing, but basically these Smithfield plants, these other meat processing plants are closing. And this one that closed the other week was supposedly produced 4 to 5% of U.S. pork production. Now, I don't know about you. I don't eat pork. I think that's something that the world's religions got right. Honestly, gross. The idea of eating pig. These creatures are closer to humans than most other creatures. I mean, it would be like eating a chimpanzee or something. We grow organs in these things. It's not cool, the whole pork thing. But the point is that they're setting us up to expect a food shortage, to be prepared for a food shortage. Even if you can still afford to buy food, the whole waiting in line to get into the grocery store thing, and you know, waiting your turn, and all of this like breadline adjacent means are all aimed at this. And whether or not they actually want a full-scale rebellion, I still don't actually know. Originally, I thought they were going to, given the fact that these memes were going around about a bioterror attack, I thought they were going to try to pull something like that. I'm not seeing that right now, so I don't know. It might be they're just going to push people over the edge and have us riot, and then they use that as the excuse for the crackdown. But there will be another crackdown. I don't know exactly what avenue it's coming from at this moment. But the fact that they're rubbing these dancing nurses in our faces, I'm not going to play those videos here because why? I mean, actually, you know what? I am. Yeah, this is what we're supposedly, this is what nurses are doing now. I mean, there's the Tavistock Institute is like where they take children in the UK to get their genders transitioned. So I don't even know. I mean, this is like multiple levels of just really, really bizarre. I can't. No, this is just not. No. I mean, I don't know. I mean, can I get any sort of input from any nurses who have participated in these things? Like, are you people allowed to talk to the press? Or maybe don't even consider me a member of the press, consider me a private citizen who's genuinely curious about what goes into making one of these videos, because I would like to know. I think that you people are going to be in serious trouble when this uprising that they seem to be trying to gin up does come to pass, because you'll be used as human shields by the administrators who have set hospital policy such that it has prevented people who are in serious health conditions from seeking treatment. I know people who have like been unable to get treatment for serious health issues because supposedly the hospitals are all clogged up with coronavirus patients, when this is happening and the hospitals are clearly not clogged up with coronavirus patients. So whatever is happening, I would like to know from the point of view of somebody who's participated in one of these videos, what were you thinking? Whose idea was it? Like, I'm not criticizing you. I realize that you don't set policy and that this is not something that you probably decided to do. But like, where did this come from? Whose idea was this to do? You're going to be in trouble. I'm just saying. So this is also a problem. The CDC has issued its blanket guidance telling hospitals to, just give up on this whole practicing medicine that you do. If somebody dies, it's coronavirus. You think it's not coronavirus? Well, fuck you, it's coronavirus. This is just weird. And not enough people are saying that it's weird because people are afraid to, get pod peopled, get piled on by the pods. And this is really problematic. I hate to use that word, but I mean, the fact that they're just preempting science by demanding you declare all these deaths to be this virus, even when you haven't tested them. This is in New York as well, in which we supposedly are at the epicenter. They just changed 3,700 deaths to be coronavirus, presumed coronavirus, without testing them. And that upped our national total 17%. Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense at all. But then this is, we live in upside down world. We live in pod people world. This is from inside the hospital.
Look, Alan, I have already said that I'm going to do all of the testing. You don't have to lift a thing. Can I?
Stan, why do you become so emotional about a little flower?
I'm with the Federal Preparedness Agency. Yes. Now, these reports of strange, unexplained diseased bodies, my understanding is that you haven't actually analyzed anything. You have no tissue samples.
No.
Mr. Brunel, at that scene, you're just winging your conclusions. Please keep open mind.
I have no intention at all of
Don't mention to anyone about duplicate bodies, for God's sake.
I was going to figure this.
Excuse me.
I don't know about you, but that sounds to me a lot like what we're seeing over here. This is creepy as hell.
So what do you do when this happens? A loved one, let's say it's your dad, drops into the family group chat with something he thinks is real. It's something about China manufacturing the coronavirus. There's a link to a site you've never heard of with a message calling it scary stuff.
What about the U.S. manufacturing the coronavirus?
Do you ignore it? Do you call him out saying how ridiculous you think this is?
If you do that to your dad, you've actually shamed him. My name is Claire Bordel and I'm the US Director of First Draft. And we are a non-profit that we help people navigate the challenges of misinformation online. What happens
Group known for publicizing the word fake news before Trump turned it against them, by the way.
It's empathetic and to say we're all in this together, and rather than you're wrong, I'm right, here are the facts.
This is how you program your family.
So hold back on all that reactive talk. Maybe try something like this. Yeah, these are scary times. We're all a bit afraid, but let's be careful. What you're sharing is inaccurate, and it feeds into that fear we all feel.
Everybody's anxiety is
Next
so
level
heightened.
Orwellian
People are sharing
creepery.
this stuff not for any malicious reasons, but because they're scared too.
Sending more context could also be a good move, but don't drown them in evidence. Maybe send an article from a legitimate source quoting credible scientists
Oh boy.
on why the virus wasn't manufactured.
Now, is this credible
Conspiracies
scientist
can
from
be just as infectious,
months ago, or?
just as
Oh, wait.
dangerous as a virus. Conspiracies can be just as infectious, just as dangerous as a virus, so you have to guard against them.
I got the conspiracy. I'm dying. I got the conspiracies, doctor. I got them. I got them. God.
But right now, I actually think there's kind of a responsibility on all of us to help people understand that sharing that kind of information is increasing the level of pollution.
I mean, this is next level Orwellian creepery. Like, literally saying, conspiracies are catching and we need to guard against them. So, like, it's your duty to snitch on your dad. Well, no, not snitch. This is not about snitching. This is about reprogramming your dad. But snitching is also on the agenda. Don't forget, snitches get rewards.
It continues to let us know where those folks are. If you've observed recurring violations of the Safer at Home order, please continue to let us know at coronavirus.lacity.org/business violation. You know the old expression about snitches? Well, in this case, snitches get rewards. We want to thank you for turning folks in and making sure we are all safe.
Look at that smirk on that scumbag's face. Don't you just want to, like, I don't know, do something not safe? I mean, we wouldn't want to violate social distancing in order to bitch slap this man. Problem is that this is who's actually making policy. And it's rather annoying because I hear people try to defend Trump in these cases, people who think that, oh, he's on the opposite side of Fauci. He's not doing what Fauci tells him to do. And okay, so then why is every single person who's making policy, like exactly what Gates wants, is coming out of their mouths? Why was the economy shut down? If somebody can answer me that in a way that makes Trump sound like something other than a puppet of Fauci and Gates, I'll buy you a sandwich. How about that? If we can find any restaurant that's open. Meanwhile, these people have blood on their hands. Not exaggerating. More people in at least Tennessee. Now, this was weeks ago. This was almost a month ago. More people in Tennessee had already died of suicide than had died of the coronavirus. I have a feeling, just, a hunch, that more states have joined that number. I mean, I probably don't have to even have a hunch. If I would go up and look up the statistics, I will try to do that. But, God damn it, it's been a while. I'm trying to get this damn video up. I mean, at least one state, Tennessee, has already reported more suicides than coronavirus deaths. Wyoming has only reported one coronavirus death. I don't know if they've shut down the state, but very few states have not shut down, and most are not like New York, where supposedly we have just coronavirus deaths coming out the ass. Now, I don't know. I mean, I don't claim to have an inside track on what's really going on in New York. I have visited 2 hospitals and seen not a whole lot of activity, but it's possible that those hospitals were just special and didn't have much of anything going on. Coney Island, however, has a big coronavirus tent. You would think it would be bustling with activity given the fact that we're supposedly drowning in coronavirus patients. So I don't know what's going on there. As usual, I'm going to make the disclaimer that the virus is real, people are dying, don't be a dumb fuck. And I mean, the fact that we even have to do this is just asinine, but then again, it's all about being asinine.